Hola, and welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and of course, I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Mary.
And today, we're talking about Survivor 49, Episode 10 winner analysis, ranking the remaining 7 players in the game. And I gotta say, Mary, before we even move on, gobble, 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 happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. We are recording this Thanksgiving morning before family comes over to our house. So I don't know if you're going to hear outside noise, but if you do, that's what it is. Mary, so last night, I thought it was a pretty good episode, though I was frustrated by inaction, which we'll talk about when we get to that player.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Jeff showed both sides last night, personally. I thought we saw good Jeff and bad Jeff. Good Jeff when interacting with Kristina. Thought he handled that situation well.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, that was an emotional explosion for her. And there was no real, I mean, maybe Jeff was a little prepared. Maybe somebody be like, hey, she's being kind of emotional today. I don't know what his like prep is before he goes into, challenges and stuff, because this isn't normal, but he took it in stride.
In my notes, I put as Counselor Jeff.
Yes, he was Counselor Jeff. So what did you think about that moment first? Let's start there.
I struggle because obviously, number one, I've never lost my mom. Number two, I've never been starving and playing Survivor with all the stress and pressure. So I can't completely just put myself in Kristina's shoes and be like, yes, I understand, because I don't. So all that being said, it does seem like other people have played this game with similar situations and heartbreak and have been able to handle it without the emotional outburst. But who am I to say that? Again, I don't know. So I do think Jeff handled it well. I mean, he was able to bring her back to like grounding her in what she was mourning, which was her mom, and in the reality of what's happening, which is you're still on Survivor, and kind of connecting those things. So Jeff did a great job. I can't blame her for having these feelings and emotions. It's like, I'm sure it was super, super hard. And also you have to understand, like, she thought she was doing well in the game, and then also just rock bottom. Everything fell apart.
The last vote did not go her way.
Right. So she feels completely just, I'm sure, out of her element. So yeah, like, it's understandable. I'm sure it happens a lot. Again, in my mind, I'm just like, another big emotional outburst. Okay, let's play the game. But I shouldn't be that cynical, I guess, or that callous.
When I was talking to Rebecca last night after the during the podcast, but after the episode, I actually said, for your point there, is that I think that Survivor has forced so many sob stories and emotional backstories that we've become jaded to a real emotional moment that happened on the show. Kristina last night to me was a real emotional moment, but there's been so many forced emotional moments on the show. You know, look at Savannah telling Steven about how she was ostracized at her job. To me, that felt forced. It did not feel natural. Kristina's was natural, but we've been force fed, we've been force fed sweet potatoes so much. We're sick of sweet potatoes, and sweet potatoes are nice when they happen on Thanksgiving, but not when it's like every week of my life I'm having sweet potatoes. I guess that's the way to look at it. If I'm being force fed sweet potatoes against my will, I don't want to enjoy sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving. That's the equivalent for me with Kristina crying. It's like, I would feel more for her, and it's nothing against her, if it wasn't force fed to me. So like, Kristina had a real emotional moment. Jeff handled it well, but it doesn't land when I'm being force fed emotion all the time.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Same with Joe and Eva last season. Like, I might have been more touched had I not been force fed emotion so often on the show. Like, let the real emotional moments happen and cut all the fake ones. Cut all the forced ones. That's where I'm at. And they have done better, I will admit, since I think 46 was the last one where it's like the winner must have an emotional backstory on the show with pictures. So they've gotten better since then, but I think we're all still reeling from 6 seasons of every single player had to get one, no matter what.
Yeah.
Episodes where we got like 10 of them in one episode. It's like, come on. And we're still, we haven't gotten over it.
Yeah.
It's like we have trauma. It's like we've been we've been emotionally abused.
That word is used too often for too many things.
Well, I'm using it for comedic effect. All right. The other one, Mary.
Yes. What is bad Jeff?
That was good Jeff. Bad Jeff for me was the negotiation, quote unquote, for Rice. Jeff says Here's a bag of rice. 3 people need to sit out. Jawan says, what about 2 people for half a bag? Because clearly it's not happening. Jeff goes, no. Savannah says, I thought this was a negotiation. Jeff says it is a negotiation. Jawan says, quarter bag of rice. And Savannah's like, Jawan, shut up. You're losing our power when you like let him counter. And Jeff just doesn't counter. What the heck, Mary? Explain to me.
It felt like something was missing there.
Why did they leave it out? Why did they even put that in the show?
But then, why even leave it in? I guess to let you know it's still happening. But honestly, when Rizzo was like, sorry to burst your bubble, Jeff, but this is too important. I'm like, yeah, Jeff, come on. The players think that when has it worked?
It hasn't worked since the 45, he stabbed the bag and we peaked.
Right.
People did give in on the stabbing.
That was a good moment.
Right. 46, I forget if they actually traded for rice. I don't think they did. 46, they didn't because Liz was super mad that they didn't get any rice. And then like an episode later or a challenge later, Jeff's like, Liz, if you said I'll give you this personal amount of rice. That happened on 46. 47, they said, no way. What if we give you our shot in the dark? And that was the episode after Rachel had used her shot in the dark. She's like, I don't care about this trade.
That's right.
And then 48, I don't recall them doing a trade. 48, so now we've done 4 seasons where the trade has been, it just hasn't happened because people, I've listened to the people online, where we were every time it happened, we're like, this isn't worth it. It is not worth it. Do not sit out for rice with 6-7 days left to go.
It's almost like Jeff was upset that once again, no one was quickly acquiescing to his demands or something, I guess. I don't know. It's like, just like, okay, we're just done. Maybe that's what it was.
He's upset, Jeff.
Upset, Jeff. So yeah, it was a little weird. I don't see the need for even leaving it in unless for some reason it comes up again in the future. Like, oh man, I wish we would have set out for rice. But
why did he say it was a negotiation? Just say it's a deal. You either accept the deal or you deny the deal, but there's no negotiation.
Pray he doesn't alter the deal further.
Yeah, going full Darth Vader on these fools. Right, yeah. But I'm just saying, Jeff, don't say it's a negotiation if it's not a negotiation. Just say it's a deal. And then it's like, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Like it's a deal. You either accept the deal or you don't accept the deal. Like it's not. Don't say it's a negotiation, then not counter with anything. Yeah. He didn't counter with anything. He was not. Basically, once Rizgod respectfully told him no, Jeff's like, and I haven't listened to the propaganda podcast yet, but I'm assuming on there he'll explain himself in a way that doesn't make it any better.
I'm sure.
This is also, I gotta say, this is why I like Jeff, because he is messy.
Well, he's a human, but yes.
But they leave the messiness in the show, and you're like, well, they easily could have cut this out. They definitely don't leave all the messiness in the show based on what we hear behind the scenes after the show kind of stuff, but they leave enough in for us to talk about it. And for that, I appreciate it.
Sorry, maybe he's trying to get people to stop calling him Uncle Jay. So he's like, I'm not your uncle. I'm your cruel ghost.
I'm Darth Jeff.
Get back on track.
Darth Jeff.
Yeah, he probably actually likes Uncle Jay. I don't know.
All right, well, Mary, before we move on and talk about every player in chronological order and rank them, with our chart in the top hand corner being the confessional count for every single player where they talk to the camera, what do we have before that?
Board game time.
Board game time.
This week, we are talking about Takaido Duo, which is the Stonemaier modification of the game Takaido. And it's a 2-player game with a solo mode. We have played Takaido before and enjoyed it and reviewed it on our podcast.
Yes.
I really like Takaido Duo. We enjoy games that are kind of designed for 2 players because that's often what we're playing.
Right. Our baby is not old enough yet to play. No.
So yeah, we've kind of leaned more toward these 2-player games, and it really works well for 2-player. It's fast. It's easy. The gameplay goes by quickly. It's still a beautiful game. I mean, any Stonemaier game is always so beautiful.
Once we learned the rules after it took us, I think 10 minutes to really make everything click. Like it didn't take very long to set it up.
No, setup was quick.
A few minutes to set up, but once we actually this is how the game works.
Read through
we just burned through the game. Like it was really fast paced.
I'd say once we did 2 rounds, because the interesting thing about this one is you have 3 different characters you're kind of playing as.
Yes.
And each character has their own pathways. So once we learned what each character did or what they were trying to achieve, then it was, it clicked. So yeah, it was super, it's challenging, but at the same time, kind of easy to learn. And again, I just love the fast pacedness of it. You're not sitting there waiting. There's only so many options you could take each round. So you're not sitting there. Like if we played with some family members who would take 10 minutes to make a decision.
Oh my gosh.
There's only so many decisions you can make based on the dice roll.
We have a family member coming over today and you can't play a board game with him because he literally takes super long in his turn. It makes the game last twice as long as it should. For real.
But this kind of forces you to pick which option you're going to, go with. And it was really fun. And
Don't
again,
worry, he doesn't listen to our podcast.
I love the artwork, the characters, the meeples. Everything is just really good quality and really fun.
Yes, I really enjoyed it as well. Stonemeyer's the GOAT. They just offer. They're just like, hey, do you want to review board games? And I'm like, yes, I do. I absolutely do. They're great. Check out their website. I haven't looked today. Today we're recording this on Thanksgiving. It goes on YouTube on Black Friday. It goes on Spotify a few days later. By the way, if you're on Spotify, listen to us on YouTube. Like, you get it way earlier on YouTube. And Patreon, of course, early and ad-free on Patreon. No ads. But I mention this because you should go to their website because they probably have a Black Friday sale. I don't know for sure. I was not told. I'm going to guess, though. Everybody and their mother's a Black Friday sale. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I would be surprised.
Definitely. Yeah. So Takaido Duo. Takaido is also a good one, as you mentioned. That one you can play with up to, I believe, 4 players. Takaido. Top of my head. It could be more. Minimum of 4, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stonemeyer, they have a ton of good games. We review their games all the time. I think they're the only board game publisher we keep reviewing because consistently, I've yet to have a clunker from Stonemeyer.
Yeah.
Like we haven't played a game yet where I'm like, this wasn't very good, which we have had in the past. So thank you again, Stonemeyer, for Takaido Duo. Link in the description to check that out.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Mary, let's go through every player alphabetically. Who is our first player?
Okay. Our first player is Kristina.
Dang, dude. Got rid of Alex and Jawan. Now we're all the way starting with Kristina.
We're at the K's.
Yep.
All right. So Kristina had 3 confessionals this week with a total of 26.
Do you think we'll have any S's this week?
Any S's go home?
No, just talking. Do you think we'll talk about any S's this week?
Well, yes. Statistically, that's basically all we have.
It's like 5 out of 7 people. My gosh.
5 of the
Imagine
7.
if Shannon was still here and Kristina was gone.
Do you think someone who's going to win starts with an S?
Holy crap. Oh, I mean, it's possibly not.
It's almost
Rizgod
50-50.
Though he is 1 letter away from S.
Yes. Well, we're starting with Kristina.
I know we're starting with Kristina. Kristina, dude. What do you think?
I mean, wait. She had her emotional backstory this week. She had
that before. That was earlier in the season as well. We heard about her mom.
That's true. We did already hear about her mom. But I guess it came to fruition.
Yes.
It impacted her in the game this week. She's not in a great spot, but again, she's not in a bad spot because who's going to vote her out? She really is just a number that is there to be used. Wasn't at the top of her alliance. She hasn't targeted anyone at any point. We saw this like brief moment with her and Savannah this week where she did not like how Savannah was talking to her and walked away. So clearly she's not going to be able to work with Savannah well, or they're going to have to smooth things over to figure out how to communicate better. And if you're not able to work with Savannah, I don't think you're staying in the game. So other than that, like that's her only, I guess, like
you're either with Savannah or against her.
Basically, yeah. You're either with her or against her. But who else is she with? Just Steven. So if you get Steven out, she's going...
Well, and Sage. It's Sage, yes. Steven, and Kristina are at the bottom.
Yes, but Kristina was betrayed by Sage, and she went directly to... I think she's the type of person, I don't know for sure, but she would rather work with Savannah, who she's known this whole time was her enemy. You know what I mean? Like, she knows where you stand versus Sage, which you thought she was with me, but she's actually not, and so I can't trust her. If that's just what I kind of read from
So not to complain about the format of Survivor since they introduced this mechanic, but to complain about the current format of Survivor since this mechanic was added, the forced final fire for fire making. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of F's. The forced final four fire making.
Yes.
Yeah. Since they added that, it has made it so you can make a 4-person alliance and don't worry about betraying anybody. Everyone's on the same page. We get to fire making, and then whoever wins immunity makes a decision on who does fire. And it's fine. And it makes for safer gameplay. Mm-hmm. And I say this because currently Savannah has a 4-man alliance versus a 3-man alliance. She has no need to accept Kristina.
Right.
Rizgod has no need. Like, they have that whole group. There's no reason to accept Kristina. Kristina can vote with them if she wants. It might delay her demise, but at the moment, that foursome has zero reason to turn on each other.
Right.
They're all going to fire making at worst. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that makes me as a player feel safe. And that's what Jeff wants, by the way. He wants a dangerous game, but then he introduces this mechanic that's forced where you must do fire making.
Right.
But it creates situations where people are not willing to turn each other. So Mary, track me here. If it was a final 2 still, I'm not saying final 2 is the end all be all, but let's say every season they changed it. It could be a final 3. It could be a final 2. It could be forced fire making. It could be not. You know what I mean? Like, if it's always up in the air, people cannot assume it's Final Four fire making. It could be a Final 2 this season. We don't know because they change all the time on us, which means, shoot, am I willing to go to the end with these 4 people? Are they going to take me to Final 2? Are they even going to give me a chance? You know, I don't know if there's fire making. When you introduce stuff like that, it's like, maybe I could vote with Kristina, Steven, and Sage and get rid of Savannah or Rizgod or Sophie. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know who's flipping in this situation. I assume Sophie S is the only one who would seriously consider it, considering what we've seen. No, but she has no reason to. She has no reason to consider it because of how safe the Final Four is now.
I agree with that. And I definitely think it should be random and the players don't know what the final 2, 3, 4 would be, because that would be so much more actually dangerous than going without food.
What if they did it challenge dependent? Like whoever wins the Final Four immunity challenge, like you get to decide, are we doing fire making or are we just going to a vote? Dude,
that would be crazy.
That would be. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't allow this challenge beast to make the decision for me. I need to get rid of them.
That would be too crazy, I think.
That would be.
I think it should
be awesome.
I think you should put Final 2, Final 3, Final 4 on a piece of paper in a hat and draw every season.
Well, there's never a Final 4. No.
You know what I mean? Final 4 fire making. Not Final 4, but.
Yeah. I actually like the idea of the players getting to have the decision of, are we doing fire making or not? Like you either decide we're doing a vote or you decide we're doing fire making. It's up to you.
Yeah.
And then, but then the show itself would need to decide, are we doing a Final 2 or a Final 3? That you can't leave that to the players, obviously. Okay.
That would be.
But I'm just saying for fire making, that would be awesome if but then it could still lead to safe gameplay, but you get like a challenge beast who somehow is subverting the majority alliance and is winning immunities and wins that immunity specifically. They're like, we're going to a vote. I'm going to make them vote each other off.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, I like that idea.
I like that more than forcing it on them.
Because you're right. At this point, I think Kristina's out at 5 because Sage and Steven are bigger targets than her. But there's no reason to get her out. Even if she votes with them, doesn't vote with them, it doesn't really matter. But I think she's out at 5. But I have her at 7th at bottom as far as chances for winning because
2 episodes of Zero Confessionals.
2 Zero Confessional episodes, yes, and no alliance really right now. Even Steven, who is her closest alliance right now, is the one that is ratting out about her idol and is lying to her. So she's just completely alone in this game. Is really unfortunate.
She's never been shown to be good at Survivor. Even this week when she's talking to Savannah and gets intimidated by Savannah asking her, who are you going to vote for? A very simple question, a very direct question, but a very simple question. The answer is,
yes.
I honestly, at the moment, I haven't decided. Who do you want to vote for?
I think Kristina's not very good at lying, and that's fine, and that's great.
In real life.
But in this game, you have to be a little bit good. You have to be able to say, you know what, Savannah, I don't really know. I just want to, wherever you tell me, I will vote. And
the thing is, you don't even have to lie. You could misdirect, whatever. Like, you could just move away from that. Savannah is very direct, though. She may not let you get away with that. Yeah. But, like, I remember Christian Ubicki doing a super long podcast explaining how people would ask him direct questions that he did not want to answer. And he would basically talk his way out of having to answer the question to make them feel good about it at the same time. And I'm like, that's expert gameplay right there.
Right.
Also why he was voted out as a big threat, but
it's true.
Kristina is not good at Survivor.
No. Sorry, Kristina.
She is last for me. She's 7th. There's just no way around it. All right. Who's next after Kristina?
Next is Rizo. Rizo had 4 confessionals this week with a total of 46.
No, it's not Rizo. It's the Rizgod, baby. He said it again this week. Don't drop the Rizgod, okay? When the Rizgod comes back for 50, I hope that people call him Rizgod. Nobody should be calling this man Rizzo after this season.
No one is, you mean after 50? Because no one
on 50.
No one on 50 is going to know what he did or has done.
It's like War Dog. He just says, my name is Rizgod. War Dog's like, my name's War Dog. And nobody called, I don't even know what his real name is. Because he was just known as the War Dog.
Yeah.
Rizgod should be known as the Rizgod, baby. Okay.
Well, once again, this kid who I keep underestimating.
He's like 25, by the way. We say kid.
He's a kid. I keep underestimating. He's moved up to my number 2 because I can't get over his super confidence. And yet at the same time, he is like, I got to stay humble. I can't get too cocky. You know, it's probably going to be me. And he's not paranoid. He's just thinking through every single thing. I am still confused why he played a fake idol. The only reason I can think is to see the reaction.
I think he was reading the room on what Sophie S was doing, frankly.
That could have been.
I think that's what it was, because he needed to know Sophie S was with them. Because if she had voted with the other side, it would have been 4-4-1, if I'm recalling correctly.
Right, because it would have just been Rizzo.
And on the on the revote, they would have lost.
Yes.
Because they wouldn't have had Savannah's extra vote. So he's reading Sophie S.
He's so smart.
Right. Yeah. That's a Rachel level move, by the way, who won the game when she played her shot in the dark.
So he did move up to number 2. I think he is more likable in general than Savannah also at this point.
It's about time you saw the light on Rizgod.
I don't know. He's also so cocky, and that can really burn a jury too. You know, people are going to be like, what in the world, Rizzo? Why play a fake idol just to get Sophie S's reaction? Whatever.
If people are still baffled by why he's doing what he's doing, then they're the fools in this situation. It is plain as day at Tribal Council what Rizgod is doing. And it's impressive. I'm actually surprised if people are confused by what he's doing on island. The danger with Rizzo is that Savannah will turn on him eventually because... Will she though?
Because he's her number 1 opposition at this point. I don't think anyone else is against,
he could be a jury threat to Savannah.
Right. So that could be his downfall. I still think Sophi B could steal his idol and get him out on her own, and that would be a game changer.
I don't think Sophi B stealing anybody's idol, honestly, at this rate.
But he is in a great spot. He's really smart. Even when it seems like the numbers are against him. I mean, he and Savannah and Sophi B were on the bottom. They were the bottom 3 just 2 episodes ago. And now they're in control of the game. So I've got to applaud him. He's really a great player. And he's hilarious. I don't know. I'm just still unsure if he has enough to upset Savannah. Because everyone's always wanting Savannah out.
If Rizgod is upsetting the jury, they're not showing it.
Right.
That's the thing. So let's say, hypothetically, we get to the end and the jury does not respect Rizgod. The show has not done a good job of portraying that to us. Narratively, that has not made sense so far.
Right.
Narratively, Rizgod is playing the most precious strategic game. If he's failing in the social game, we're not seeing it at the moment. What we are seeing, and I know we're going to talk about her next later or whatever, is Savannah. Is she after Rizgod?
No.
No, okay. Don't worry then. Savannah, we're seeing consistently week after week, somebody, if not multiple people, are like, Savannah's off-putting. Savannah's like, Savannah, I don't like Savannah.
Right.
And like we saw it with this week with Kristina specifically. Like Savannah's very intimidating to her. Those emotions you hang on to, most human beings hang on to that, and that affects the way they're going to vote. We have not seen anything like that from Rizgod. Now you could argue, has Rizgod even connected with the other side? And that's a fair point.
Boys on a bench.
Right? Boys on a bench. Sure. But here's the thing. I think at the moment, the issue is the tribe division of 50. But let's say the Survivor did something dumb and put 2 winners on the same tribe. It's possible Rizgod is the winner and he's on tribe with Kyle. I just don't think it's likely.
Right.
It's possible. It's just not likely. And it really hurts because if him and Savannah were on the same tribe of 50, I'd be like Rizgod number 1 right now. I wouldn't put Savannah 1. She's burning jury members. Jury members do not like Savannah.
Right.
And by the way, if those jury members vote for her later, we need to see some sort of redemption arc here in the last 3 episodes. Because right now it looks like Savannah does not have enough jury members on her side. I haven't done the math yet because I don't know who's going to be on the jury yet. Like she'll have there's a few people. I don't think Nate dislikes Savannah, for example.
Right.
Will Jawan vote for Savannah? Possibly. I don't think he was one of the people off put by Savannah. I think all the Reds are safe. Sophie S, if she's on the jury, maybe votes for Savannah. You see what I mean? Like there are definitely votes there. Well, I think it might be voting for Savannah or against Savannah versus voting for Savannah and voting for someone else. And with that in mind, I just don't know if there's enough votes there. But I haven't done the math yet. Maybe this is going to be like a super close vote. Maybe we'll get like a Charlie Kenzie situation where it's 5-3 and man, Charlie / Rizgod should have gotten that one other vote that they never got. Or if it's a tie vote, that's insane. We get like a Wendell Dom tie vote.
And Sophi B has to make the decision.
If she's the third person, right. I don't know for sure who's the third person, honestly. Kristina could be the third person, really.
Right.
I don't know how she gets there, but it could be like nobody respects Kristina's game.
I think that I agree with you. Rizzo is a smart player. He is more likable than Savannah, and he has a good shot, which is why he moved up to number 2 for me.
Narratively, yes, that's what it's telling us. But then the stupid tribe division, why couldn't they be on the same tribe?
Even with the tribe divisions.
Why couldn't they be on the same tribe?
I still have Rizzo at number 2.
They got 246 people on the same tribe. It's not against the rules, apparently.
Right. I mean, there are no rules, I guess.
Well, if you look at the way they separate, they've tried to separate people who are on the same season. But the only exception to that is 46, where I believe Charlie and Tiffany are on the same tribe. But there was no need for that. Tiffany could have been on a separate tribe from Charlie. Like, there are 3 tribes, and they have 346 players. They have 348 players. They're all in different tribes, Mary. So why did 246s end up on the same tribe?
Right. I don't know.
Right. Exactly. That's my question. And I'm like, for real, because they totally could have separated them 1000%. There's no reason they had to be on the same tribe. So why couldn't 249 players be on the same tribe? I'm baffled by this at the moment. I'm baffled. So Rizgod for me is number 2. If there was no 50 / we didn't know tribe divisions, he would be number 1 for me. But unfortunately, it's possible, but not likely in terms of what they did. All right, Mary, let's move on. Who's next after Rizgod?
Next, we have Sage. Sage has 6 confessionals this week with a total of 44. Poor Sage.
Sage is higher than she should be in my rankings.
Where is she at for you?
Number 3. I want Sophie S to be number 3, but they did her dirty in this season. And I saw people on Reddit last night while I was editing the podcast waiting for it to upload and stuff. People defending like Sophie S, what a great player. Wow. Don't worry about the first few episodes. I'm like, are the Survivor editors here on Reddit? Like the first few episodes matter. And like people are defending the fact it doesn't matter. She got skunked episode. Is this your first season watching Survivor? It does matter. It always matters. Like how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? It's how I feel when it comes to Zero Confessional. Like I had to learn it again last season. I'm not relearning it this season. Sophie S, even without tribe divisions, even without 50, I would not have her any higher than 6 where she actually is. Though I want her at 3. Who are we talking about again?
We're talking about Sage.
Oh yeah, Sage. Sorry. Sage. Yeah. Sage is the best person on the opposing force. I'm just not sure how she gets to final 3 because she doesn't win challenges.
Right.
Not that she can't. She hasn't.
Sage, I also want her high up. I think that she is a good player who just keeps getting kind of dealt a bad hand. But also at the same time, you have to be able to convince people to come to your side. And she thinks she does, but she doesn't actually have. She thought she had Sophie for this vote, and she didn't. Of course, she didn't know about the extra vote, but that's not really her fault. Like I keep saying it, Savannah and Rizo keep getting this Survivor luck, but they also know how to use it and when to use it. And Sage has not really felt like she's gotten any Survivor luck. She hasn't won anything. She hasn't got any advantages. She's just playing pretty hard. And her relationships are fairly good, but obviously not enough to be in the majority right now. So I feel bad for her. I think she is a good player. I'd love to watch her again, but I think she's gone 6 or 7 this week or next week. I think she's gone, which is unfortunate because if she somehow does pull out a bunch of immunity wins and makes it to the end, I think she could win because I don't know though. I keep going back and forth on this. It feels like her only really good relationships are Juwan and Steven. Otherwise, it feels like just very surface level relationships. And you can't really win with just 2 tight people. So she is 4th for me. But with only 7 people left, I guess that's not, she's not in a good spot. It would take a lot of immunity wins for her to even make it. And even then, like I said, I don't know if she would have the jury votes. What do you think?
Sage, jury votes. I don't think it even matters. I don't think she's going to make it there. She's at 3 only because there are rules that we have established over the course of this 11 season now podcast where we've learned we must do things that we must do in the past, such as we must have a mat chat, went away. We must have an emotional backstory with pictures, went away. They have yet to do away with the Zero Confessional episode. If they ever surprise us and do it to a winner, we will all learn a new lesson. But the lesson keeps being taught to us that you must have that. So Sage has not been skunked. However, Sage is in such a dubious spot with no advantages, no idols. By the way, why isn't anybody playing the shot in the dark ever?
Because it never works.
Not this season. I'm not saying not like this season specifically, but I'm saying it just seems like in general, the shot in the dark, remember, it was such a prominent thing the first few seasons. And then, like it worked for Caleb. It saved him from elimination. And I think it saved somebody last season. I don't remember who, but there's like so little talk about it. I don't know if it's had the intended effect, but then maybe this is where it was supposed to be, where it's like, it's an option, but it's not like a thing we have to think about, where it was talked about so often. That's really her only shot at this moment, because I think she's gone next.
Yes.
Yeah.
She should probably use her shot in the dark next week. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I mean, in general, your vote is more powerful than a 1 in 6 chance of immunity. But in her case, it's not. Her vote's not going to matter.
I have her at 3 because if somehow she does topple this majority alliance, then I think she has the best shot out of her, Steven, and Kristina.
Yes.
If Steven wins and we're getting Gablered, like, sure, he's present. Sure, he has just enough. We're getting Gablered if it's Steven.
Yeah.
Sage has at least been a prominent character.
Yes.
Even if she was silly in the beginning.
She's number 4 for me.
Number 3 for me. I don't knock you at all. I mean, again,
You're going to knock my number 3 player, but you understand. Yeah.
All right. Well, who's after Sage?
Next is Savannah.
Finally. Okay.
Savannah had 3 confessionals this week with a total of 61.
Only 3. Wow. I'm surprised. Savannah,
yeah, but
dude.
she still has 61 total.
Savannah, man. Like, again, this week we're reinforced that Kristina does not like Savannah. I haven't kept track of every player, but I remember like MC said she doesn't like Savannah. It feels like all the yellow players have generally not like Savannah, whereas the red players tend to like her. She needs Rizgod to go on the jury because that's a vote for Savannah.
Yes, but I honestly, again, if you look at how she I think she's going to be able to do an amazing final tribal. She's going to be able to say, I did this, I did this, I did this, I was in charge of this. And I think she is aware enough to be able to humble herself and say, you know I came across as direct to some people, or I know I might have offended some people. And that was my one flaw in this game that I really wanted to fix. As long as you're humble and admit your mistakes, most people are going to be able to forgive that and just see the gameplay. And she has amazing gameplay. We talked about it. Yeah, she didn't really luck into this extra vote because it was a result of winning an immunity. She's won several of immunities, so she's a good challenge beast. When she's on the absolute bottom, her and Rizo seem to be completely out. Her and Rizo are managed to flip the vote, take Sophie S, who was kind of on the outs, get them over to their side. They're just such good game players. They get the advantages, the idols. They know when to use them. And yes, Rizo can say it was all my idea, and it probably was. A lot of the strategy might be his idea, but who are you going to believe? Like this 25-year-old dork or this like professional kind of...
The 25-year-old dork who I'm seeing making moves at Tribal Council.
I'm just saying, a lot of times you want to give the $1 million to this like confident, passionate woman who's making...
feel better giving the money to?
Yeah, that's just my opinion. I think this jury who... not is older, but is more Savannah's age.
Well, Nate is the mayor of the jury, and usually that sets the tone for the jury.
Yes.
The first person.
And Nate was Savannah's like number 1. She was blindsided by that.
And he's a mature man.
Right.
With money.
Right. So I think he's going to be able to talk Savannah up on the jury. I think that she's going to be able to, like I said, communicate clearly at that final tribal and be able to win people over. Like, I have no doubt. Yes, she's direct. Yes, but she's going to be able... I'm in the game. I'm like fighting for my life constantly. Yes, I'm going to be direct. Yes, I'm going to play my advantages when I need to. And I think people are going to respect that. I do. Like, I think she is an amazing player. And if she wins, I think she just is deserving. She really could, yes, work on her people skills a little bit. But other than that, she's almost had a flawless game.
I'm with you. A lot of people view her as a threat. And they're like, we got to get Savannah out. It's almost become there's always like somebody every season. It's like, this is the running gag is not really the word. Running gag. Like, we got to get this person out.
Yeah.
And then just
they never get out. Yes.
That person tends to not win though either.
I think in this case,
not win.
They might.
I'm with you. Savannah's number 1 for me. And but it's flipping the Survivor 50 tribe divisions. If it wasn't for that, she'd probably be 2 or 3.
Right.
She'd be high up, but she wouldn't be number 1 locked. But she's number 1 locked, and I have yet to see a reason why not to. Because you're right, she probably does turn around. Something probably does happen. Jeff's like, if you're gonna be on 50, you have to do something. Well, what has Savannah done to be on 50 at the moment? Like, she's an interesting character. She's definitely different, but I think winning the game as a winner that we have not, she's not, let's put it this way. I said this last night with Rebecca. A lot of the new era players to me are like when you play an old video game and it's like, this is a different character, but it's not. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the red Mario is now wearing green, so it's Luigi, but it's not. It's the same character with different colored clothes on. That to me is a lot of the new era characters. Savannah does not reflect any other person in the new era. D is our closest comparison. And I would not say Savannah is D and D is Savannah.
Right.
They're different people. So I say that because she is definitely a different person. Same with Rizgod. Rizgod almost, if he wasn't doing so much and wasn't such a goof, he almost falls into that new era. Like we've seen this kind of person before, but like he physically reflects Drew from 45.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
Like that's what they were going for. Like they're both dorks. They're both smart. But like Rizgod's got Riz, as Rebecca said last night, and Rizgod's actually making moves. Drew just kind of like whined and complained, and Rizgod's like out here doing stuff. So like he's separated himself from the pack, and a lot of these players are just like palette swaps with each other from 41 through 49. I'm like, you kind of all blend in. A lot of these people do, and it's I say this knowing that that's what happened in the 30s and 20s. By the way, I'm not gonna sit here and be like they didn't do archetypes back then as well. It's just that this is the current casting team, so I'm not gonna like knock current cast team for things that happened before they took over.
Yeah.
They could have changed things and they decided we're going to do different archetypes than we did before, but now we're just going to do those over and over and over again instead of like mixing it up. So my point is that what is Savannah done to get 50? Well, if she wins, there you go. If she wins, that's what she did to separate herself.
She's done a lot. Did you not hear my
I heard what you said. I'm just disagreeing.
Okay. She's done more than, I would say 75% of Survivor players ever.
Yeah, I'm talking about who I'm talking about the 50 cast. I'm talking about what get you on the 50 cast.
Yeah. Be a good player. And she is.
There's a lot of good players. Why did Jesse get cut? Why did Carolyn get cut?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like those were good players.
Well, she
Carolyn
also
is more character than player.
You also need a little bit of recency, I think.
Yeah. How did they get on? We already talked about this. I can't believe Jesse and Carolyn got cut in favor of some of these 48 and 46 players.
Well, Carolyn was on Trader, so she is out of Jeff's good graces.
Cut Camilla or cut Tiffany and replace them with Carolyn. Cut Charlie. Cut who else?
I like
Joe
Charlie.
or Kyle and replace them with Jesse. Those players should have been on 50. Those are the two I'm actually salty about. Everyone else, they got cut. I'm like, sucks, but I get it.
Even if Savannah wasn't on 50, I think I would still have her as number one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's at number one for both of us. Savannah likely to win. It's a shame this whole season we've just kind of like been waiting for something to happen that upsets what we thought was going to happen. But no, unfortunately not. Survivor, they should have put them on the same tribe. We would have a much more interesting discussion about Savannah and Rizgod.
Yeah.
If that was the case. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that they had to win if they put them on the same tribe. That's the thing. They both could have lost.
Right. Exactly.
Survivor could have just had 2 winners on the season. And they still could. Theoretically, Rizgod and Savannah could lose, and I was pitching like the upset could be, is it our next player, Sophi B?
Yes.
Upset could be Sophi B, but like after last night, I'm like, I don't think Sophi B is the upset anymore. She's upsetting me.
Well, let's talk about Sophi B.
All right.
So Sophi B had 4 confessionals this week with a total of 49. I am on the complete opposite side of Wesley right now. I moved her up after last night's episode. So here we go. So first of all, she's in this tight alliance with Rizo and Savannah. She is the number 3. She's going to make it with them to the final 3. I'm confident. There are 2 ways the jury could take her gameplay. One is just a coattail rider, or...
Which is why I think she is.
Right. At this point, she is.
Yeah.
Or they could all be, as you said, bitter against Rizo and Savannah and vote for Sophi B because she's sweet, she's nice, and she made it to the end.
And she survived from her disaster tribe.
Right. Her story is... There was just me and Alex. We were constantly losing over and over and over again. I was on the outs. I had no alliance, whatever. I weaseled my way into this alliance with Savannah and Rizzo, and I hung on for dear life, and that's why I'm here, and you should vote for me because I'm super sweet and nice. I think that could still work, especially with the jury that we're getting, because they are getting burnt. So she's kind of my backup, everyone's bitter winner, wild card, I guess. But I also do think that she played it smart by not taking Kristina's idol. And here's why. Because we talked about it briefly during the episode. But she didn't know 100% sure that Kristina had the idol. She heard it through Sophie S, who has been known to be like a flip-flopper liar. We saw Rizzo...
Sophie S is a flip-flopper. She flipped 1 time. Okay,
we saw Rizzo play a fake idol to gauge Sophie S's reaction.
Right.
So clearly Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophi B don't completely trust her, right? So she isn't 100% sure Kristina has the idol. Absolutely no one knows about this advantage right now. So she doesn't want to mess that up. She does know where the one real idol is at this point, which is in Rizzo's pocket. In my opinion, I believe she's waiting until the numbers get wheedled down a little bit. she's going to then take Rizzo's idol and get him out of the game. And that's going to be her big move, her big play, her big pitch to the jury that this is what I'm doing. I could be thinking wrong. She could be totally loyal to Rizzo and Savannah. But if I'm in her position right now, I'm going to know I'm going to have to do something big. And this is her one trick up her sleeve she has, her one card in the hole. And so she's holding on to it for the right moment. And if that is true, totally could be the winner. Because as you said, nobody likes Savannah. And if Sophi B gets Rizzo
it's
out.
Not that nobody likes Savannah. It's that there's a lot of vocal people against Savannah. Not that nobody likes
Savannah has negative emotions attached to her, yes. Whereas Sophi B doesn't have any of that. And if Sophi B manages to get Rizzo out when no one else has been able to do so, when he keeps holding on to this idol and never having to play it, I think that would get her so much credit with the jury. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And that's why she's number 3 for me, because if she gets Rizzo out, I think it's almost a lock. But I could be wrong, just because she's so sweet and nice and everyone loves her. But it would take something major like that for her to win, I think.
Yes, Savannah. I'm sorry. Who are we talking about again? Sophi B. It's just that she should have stolen Kristina's idol. She should have taken the shot. And the thing is, who's all right. So let's say she takes the shot, she misses, right? Is that worse than sitting on it, not using it, and then revealing to everybody later, I had this, I never used it? Yeah. I think the attempt is worth more than not trying at all. Because the moment she's not going to steal Rizgod's idol, I know a couple people asked, they're like, is she going to steal Rizgod's idol? I don't think so. I know next time Survivor's like, I might flip on Savannah and Rizgod or whatever. But like, no, she's not. No, that's out of context. If she's even seriously considering it, I don't believe it. If that makes sense. I feel like we're just being, so that next episode is interesting enough to tune into is what was being put there. Mm. Because at the moment, they know that most people are going to come out of this and be like, oh, there's a 4-3 advantage. There's no one in this 4 that needs to flip. Who's going to be the defector? Who's going to be the Judas of the group in the story? Sophi B, I guess, because we really can't do it to Sophi S, who flipped for good reason. Savannah and Rizgod are clearly super tight. The only one who could defect is Sophi B. I don't think she's going to do it. Sophi B seems to be satisfied playing a game where she sits on her hands. Is it the summertime when they're filming this? Yes. Why are her hands cold? Why is she sitting on them? So I disagree. I think she should have tried it. And I know that's been a huge thing not to say, it's good not to tell people about your advantages. This is a time where I think it would have been worth bringing up to somebody you trust. So I wouldn't say it in front of Sophi S. If you're like, oh, we don't know if we can trust Sophi S. This is a time where she just talks to Savannah one-on-one, or Savannah and Rizgod, if she's like, these two are equally trustworthy, and goes, hey, I have a knowledge power. Should I steal Kristina's theoretical idol? Do we believe she really has it? This is like one of the times where I think it's actually okay to do, because knowledge is power. And if she's just if she's not going to play it, then what's the point? Like, I
completely disagree.
What's she going to do? Was she waiting for? So now the idol's back in circulation, and she hopes that everybody knows about the next idol. She's not going to, I just don't get it. She has 2 episodes, I think, left to use it. I think it's good through final 5. I think like that's the last time an idol can be played. Therefore, that's probably the last time this knowledge power can be played. It's final 5. But shoot, dude, like, I don't know. She needs to do something with it. If she doesn't, then I'm going to the end of my days, say she should have played it in this episode. And you can disagree, and maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm just saying that if nothing comes of this, knowledge is power, this is the night she should have tried it.
I think she's doing exactly what we've always said players should do, which is number 1, keep your advantage hidden and secret and only for you. But
that's under the assumption you're going to do something with it.
And number 2, timing is everything. Do not use it for no reason. If you're not sure that's
the opposing side has an idol, you steal it, especially if you don't trust Sophi S fully, right? Yeah. Sophi S, you don't fully trust her.
They had 5 votes. There was no need to.
No, they had 4 votes, and they were hoping Sophi S was voting with them. If Sophi S didn't vote with them, it's 4-4-1 on a revote. Savannah, Rizgod, whoever is gone. On the revote, Savannah's gone because they voted for Savannah.
Sure, I understand. Right. I'm just saying, I think she played it really smart. If you're getting on to Sophi B for not playing her advantage, you should be getting on to Rizzo for not playing his idol.
Rizzo, that's the thing. Rizzo is taking advantage of the fact that he has an idol every single week. Somehow this dude is, you're right. And like on paper, I'm always like, if you have an idol everybody knows about, just play it. But somehow he's turned this into a thing where his idol everybody knows about, and he's using it to his advantage to not play his idol. I don't think I've seen this before, where somebody's using an idol that everybody knows about and just not playing it, but like toying with people by not playing. He plays fake. You, me, everybody that watched this episode, the people at Tribal, great editing, by the way, to go, this is a fake idol. What? Yeah. Rebecca said, by the way, that she knows there was a shot during the episode where it looked like Rizgod was like cutting something off his torch, and she thinks that's what that was.
Oh.
Right. So, by the way, did Juwan actually take Rizgod's torch, or was that just a joke? Because if he did, that means Rizgod has another torch with a fake idol on it.
I think that was a joke.
I think it was a joke too. I think.
It came from Rizo, and I'm pretty sure production will be like, hey, wait, no, that's the wrong one. Put it back, please.
I don't think, does it matter? Their names aren't on them.
Their names are on them.
Oh.
Yeah, they have like these little wooden plaques.
It's burnt on there or whatever.
Yeah.
Carved on there. Gotcha.
Anyway, so we have differing opinions about Sophi B. She's number 3 for me.
She's number 6 for me.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, number 5 for me. Number 5. Sorry,
well,
no.
Still.
6 is Sophie S. I got mixed up. Number 5. I moved her down as far as I could, which is not very far. Apparently.
Crazy.
No, I need, this is a bad episode for her in my eyes. She has 3 episodes left to redeem. The season is not over. She's not out of the game. I don't think she's even on the block to be voted off.
Right.
You're right. She probably does slip into Final 4 easily. What happens to fire making? I don't know. Does she just get taken from Final 3? Does she do fire making? Who really knows at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see any reason why anybody wants to vote her off. But that's kind of the thing. She's not a threat to win because nobody cares about Sophi B. She's so irrelevant to the story. She's just a vote for Savannah Rizgod and Sophi S, who's become the primary Sophie.
I will say that even if she is not making any gameplay now, we still do hear from her, and a lot of her moments are like comedic or sweet. We got the even Steven from her this week. But it was last week we got like a confessional where they kept in a fly buzzing in and bothering her, and she like waited away. I'm just saying all of her content is positive, and that is always a sign to me. But we can agree to disagree.
Maybe next week I'll have my mind switch, but I've had her so high all season. But then my expectation was she's going to do something with the knowledge power, and then she didn't fall through with it.
Yeah, you often view the season of Survivor as if it were a movie that could be edited.
Yes, it is.
Sure, if it was a movie,
it's
then
a TV
yes.
show movie.
Then yes, but these are real people doing real things.
Right. The edit portrays a storyline, and the storyline is that Sophi B was important and now she's not.
Okay.
That's what the storyline is telling me.
So let's talk about Sophi S.
All right.
Sophi S had 6 confessionals this week with a total of 28.
I wish I could rank her number 3. I wish. I really wish I could. That's where she deserves to be.
I don't think so. I disagree. You tell me why.
Because she's won 2 immunities, and I feel like she flipped on her alliance, right? She flipped on those people. Those people didn't want her at the end. They viewed her as a threat. Now, she may never have the jury's respect. I don't know what happened. I mean, I did make the What is the Survivor 49 cheating scandal video, and she was part of that rumor. By the way, check out that video if you haven't already. It was 10 minutes. It's very compact. I tightened everything up with everything I could find. I know later after that video, MC was like, Sophi S wasn't the one cheating preseason. But what is all this vitriol? What do people have against Sophi S? Like, the show did not give us anything to determine why people didn't really care about Sophi S and why they're like, oh, MC's voted out, not Sophi S. Boo hoo. Like, that sucks. Why? Like, why? Narratively, that doesn't make sense. So I'm not sitting here and being like, Sophi S is going to win. Obviously not. She has a 0 confessional episode and they told her she's not going to win. But I like her. And I think she's on the right track. She's a Genevieve to me at the moment. Because Genevieve had the same issue. She has a 0 confessional episode. And we really like Genevieve. Mm-hmm. We're like, Genevieve, like, shoot, if she wasn't skunked in the beginning, maybe she would have a chance at winning this thing.
My opinion about Sophi S. I disagree. Besides winning immunity, I don't think her gameplay is that great. And here's why. So when she came back from that weird split, whatever, she got mad because people assumed she'd be the one to go. But you have to look at who was at that tribal and who was still, but all of her alliance was not really there. And everyone assumed Rizo would play his idol. And so therefore she was the biggest target. Now, again, it wasn't that, oh man, Sophi went home. I'm not saying that people played it wrong. I'm saying that, yeah, they played it slightly wrong by not being like, yes, Sophi, yes, you're still here. We're so glad. We were hoping that you were still here. They should have acted more like that, I'm guessing, is what Sophi S was thinking. I'm just saying, I think she misread that whole situation and took it too personally because everyone still thought she was in their alliance with them. Everyone was like, oh, it wasn't you. We thought they would take you out, which again, they could have played that better. So I just don't think relationally she is maybe that great. And then she flips over to Savannah, who she's been saying is a target and wants to get out. She then has an opportunity to get Savannah out, but she decides not to because Savannah's a immunity shield for her. Like, that's a really bad reasoning at this point in the game.
That's a good reasoning.
There's only 7 people left.
Right, but they barely have the advantage at 4-3. She needs Savannah around for at least another vote.
I don't know. I just think it's been shown that Sophie keeps making not the best strategic decisions. It was the best strategic decision to get Savannah out last night. She didn't hop on board that. She didn't know about the extra vote. I don't know. I don't think she is playing that great of a game compared to some of the other people playing. Compared to Sage, compared to Savannah and Rizzo, obviously. But yeah, I mean, she is out there playing. She's trying. She's doing her best.
You think she's playing a worse game than Sage? Sage is about to be voted off.
Because Sage is playing.
Right. I think Sophie S is playing. I think the only person who isn't playing, by the way, I want to give props to everybody. I think Steven, Kristina, and Sage and Jawan tried something last night. It didn't work. It failed, but they tried something.
Sure.
Rizgod, Savannah, and Sophie S, in my opinion, did something last night.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie B sat on her hands and it was just part of the vote.
Right.
She's the only person who didn't actively do anything last night. I'm defending Sophie S. I think Sophie S actively did something when she flipped. She actively won immunity. She actively voted with the side to make sure the other side lost. Like, Sophie S has made decisions and is important. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Sophie S sits in final 3, she wins, because clearly the show has ruined that completely. Sure. Like, obviously.
Well, I think you should just tell us in the comments if you think it's Sophie B or Sophie S is playing. I agree. I think Sophie S is playing more of
playing
a
the better
game,
though. Let's define that, because just because Sophie B makes it further, does that mean she played the better game?
I'm just saying no. I'm just saying that Sophie S, she's not seeing Savannah and Rizzo as the big threat that everyone else is, because I think she's a little bit blinded in thinking that she is kind of running this alliance, and she's not. She's on the bottom of this Rizzo, Savannah, Sophie B alliance.
The best move for Sophie S next week is to flip sides.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But this week, this was the right move for her to make, in my opinion.
Okay.
She was not going to win in that Jawan Sage run alliance. She wasn't. She was not going to get to the end and win with those people.
She could have.
She could only win if she's going to stay next to Kristina and Steven, but that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
Jawan and Sage were the brains of an alliance, by the way, that this is the only week I thought this alliance actually, and they failed, but they actually like tried something where like, oh, this is actually a good idea and a good move.
It was good. That's why I think Sage is playing.
Sage and Jawan just like flip-flop whenever they feel like it. That's what they did. They flipped last week. They voted with Savannah and Riz. Like, what were they doing?
They're playing in the middle. I know. Last week was a big mistake for them. Big mistake.
Cancel Christmas. Big mistake. My point is that if Sophie S, and she's not going to do it, but let's say Sophie S did actually flip next week, that would be a great move for her. Is she a flip-flopper? Yes, but she's actually doing something. And I don't think she's going to do it though. And so like next week I can't knock her down. She's number 6 for me.
She's 6.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. Like right now, as of this episode, without thinking too much in the future, she's number 3. But then it's like, okay, next week if she flipped, like that would be golden. Like knock out Sophie B, Savannah, or Rizgod. Like there's only so much they can do. One has an idol. One could win an individual immunity. There's one available to be voted off. Sophie B can't protect herself. That knowledge is power.
Right.
Unless there's an idol she knows about. Like the only way.
There is, but
there is not.
Rizzo has an idol.
Why would she steal Rizgod's idol?
Exactly.
She's not going to do that. We've already discussed this. If she does it, then my mind will be blown.
I know.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
All right. Are we done with Sophie S?
No, I'm just saying Sophie S, like at the moment has potential. And you're right. If she's blinded, she's not going to do it. But if she does do it, that would be a great move.
Yeah.
And to flip on those 3. But is she going to do it is the question. So
we shall see.
All right, let's move on to our last player.
Our last player, Steven. Steven had 7 confessionals this week with a total of 44.
Steven is so middle of the road, it hurts for me.
I think, again, he's also one of those that's just not in a great spot right now. He thought he was in the majority, then he wasn't. Completely blindsided. We still aren't really told why Jawan and Sage didn't tell him and Kristina. There was they had conversations, but all we were shown is, are you good? Yeah, we're good. And that, like, but why didn't you tell him? Oh, is he so, obviously he's like, I'm completely on the outs. I have no idea what's going on. And that's unfortunate because I think he is a fun guy. Rizzo was saying he's a fun guy. You know, he's smart, as we know, but apparently he just didn't connect well with anyone.
For me, if Steven's like Sophi B, if they win, I get why they weren't brought back for 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's the two players. I'm like, okay, if they win, I get why they weren't brought back. They're not that interesting in comparison to Rizgod and Savannah.
Right.
In terms of bringing people back. Whereas Sage, if she wins, I'm like, why wouldn't they bring back Sage? Like, Sage is so uniquely Sage.
She is unique, yes.
Right. Rizgod, Savannah, I get. At the moment, I'm like, Steven wins. Steven, like Sophi B, I'm like, I get it.
This way, I really don't see how he gets to the end. I
don't know either. He could, the thing is, they could remove Kristina and Sage and be like, Steven's not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And go, as you said, Savannah goes to like Rizgod or something.
Yeah, that's possible. But again, even if he's sitting at Final Tribal, what is he going to... Hey, I got to Final Tribal, guys. And
there's a bunch of yellows on the jury.
That's true.
That could be all he needs.
That's true.
I don't know what the numbers are.
There's a slim chance for Steven, I guess. That's why he's number 5 for me. But again, there's only 7 players left and 2 have 0 confessionals. So
right.
I don't see it. And if it does happen, I would definitely be surprised. And again, my mind can't even be like, well, if he won a couple immunities and if he won fire making, I guess there's a chance. And if he's really good at Final Tribal talking, but just the edit this whole season has been Steven's just
They've done Steven dirty if he wins.
Yeah. He killed a chicken or 2 chickens.
Well, really, they've done Sophi S and Kristina dirtier if they win. But
yes, that would be ridiculous.
Any of these yellow people are winning.
Yeah.
But if any of the yellows win, this story did not do that much favors here.
We said that at the very beginning of this season is that yellow, it doesn't have the winner on it.
We said that last season, though, where we thought the orange tribe didn't have the winner because we're like, they seem to be the most unimportant tribe. And then it turns out, no, they had Kyle and Camilla. And Kyle was the winner.
We are incorrect occasionally.
I'm just saying, like, we ran with that assumption last season. Like, the most complex tribe was the purple tribe with Joe and Eva. Look at how that turned out. Like,
just
sure, they did have number 2 and 3, but they didn't have the winner on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let alone number 4, who was Camilla. So they didn't have one. They had 2 and 3, but not 1 and 4. But the show was enamored with 2 and 3. It's true. Enamored with those 2. It is
true.
Especially Joe. So yeah, Steven for me, I have him ranked 4th. But yes, it's just if he wins, it'll be like, oh, okay. So why didn't they show do more to help him? And he still has 3 episodes left. Maybe something happens, you know. I think Steven's in line to be voted off, but I think Sage is next. I truly, on fantasy, I'm putting votes on Sage.
Yeah.
Sage is probably next. I don't see why they'd vote for Steven or Kristina over Sage. And honestly, every vote you can survive because you're overlooked is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? There could be a journey. We've only had 2 this season, and every season up through now has had 4. I'm not saying there's 2 more journeys in the tank. I'm saying there could be a journey in the tank, and Steven could go on the journey. He could get something. He could play Shot in the Dark and be successful. Who knows?
Yeah, anything is possible.
When you're at the bottom and you know it and you ain't got the votes, you play your Shot in the Dark, and something could happen there.
That is the one thing about being on the bottom. It typically can give you that energy, that focus that you need for an endurance challenge or whatever. And it's happened several times where you save yourself just because you know if you don't, you will be going home.
Boston Rob is only fun for me when his back's to the wall.
Yeah.
He's not fun when he's in charge. Wow. Who knows? It's fun to see people switch positions. Like, okay, here's how you were in charge. How are you with your back to the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Are you any good?
Mm-hmm.
Sandra to me is more fun when her back's to the wall than she is when she's in charge. When she's in charge, she kind of becomes like background character.
Yeah.
When her back's to the wall, all of a sudden you get sassy Sandra fighting with people and stuff.
I think Savannah and Rizzo this season have been good, both on top and back to the wall.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. Rizgod playing Rizgod heard there was a spot available for 50 and all of a sudden cranked it up a notch. That's what happened. Last night, he was playing it up for Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Jeff, I just love talking to you. I'm just happy to be here. And I'm like, I don't blame you. Jeff openly said there are spots on 50.
Mm-hmm.
Like, normally I'd be like, come on now, stop sucking up. But this is like, oh, no, there's an open spot and it's happening in like 2 weeks. Like, yeah. Get your spot there. Tell Jeff what he wants to hear. I understand. Anybody else did the same, I would be like, I understand. Even if you didn't get on 50, I'd totally get it. I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Then when you're on 50, you don't have to say stuff like that because there's no need.
One last thing, and I forgot to mention this. I meant to mention it in Savannah or Rizzo's section. But when Joanne was voted out, he says, raise your hand if you did this, and everyone does. And Joanne's like so chill. He's like happy about it. Right. That's how I could see Savannah winning in the end.
Probably.
Because
or Rizgod.
He respects good gameplay. He's like, they got me.
Right.
Good job, guys.
She wants a vote for Rizgod or Savannah if they're both in the final three.
I think so, yeah.
He's not voting for Sophi B in your theoretical final three of those three.
No.
No.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Same with Nate. I think Nate votes for Rizgod Savannah. And probably Savannah because Rizgod speaks a language he doesn't quite understand.
It's true.
Right. We'll talk about that when we get to this isn't our last week. Our last week will be week 12 for winter analysis, and we'll talk about, I think it'll be me and Madison that week. We'll talk, I think it's your last winter analysis season.
Oh.
Aw. Madison is doing next week, and then she's doing the week before the finale. But we're going to have you, obviously, you have one more podcast with us for the New Era winter ranking, or the New Era rankings for every season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I should have probably started the podcast with this your last one, but then people would be sad on Thanksgiving / Black Friday. So we don't want that. Anyways, hey, that's all we have for this week. Next week, episode 11 with Rebecca, winter analysis with Madison, and we're getting close here. This end of the season is nigh. Is that the right use of that word?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, well, we'll see you all next time. Bye.